The streets of Rosengård were very dangerous in the 90s. It was one of Sweden's most infamous housing projects where crime rates were high and opportunities even lower. Many families living there had immigrant backgrounds and struggled with financial problems. But amid the poverty and struggle, a young boy named Zlatan Ibrahimović would dream of a different life. This was a place where more than half of the population were immigrants and unemployment rates were high. The housing estate was surrounded by high walls and barbed wire fences and had a reputation for being one of the most dangerous places in Sweden. Fights, vandalism, and gang warfare were common occurrences here, and it was definitely not a place for kids to grow up in. Zlatan grew up playing football with the street gangs of Rosengård. He learned how to fight and survive in one of Sweden's most notorious slums. This move was seen as a risk at the time as Zlatan had never played in Italy before. In 2009, Zlatan signed with FC Barcelona for a transfer fee of €46 million, reuniting with his former Ajax manager, Frank Rijkaard, who had become Barcelona's new manager. This move was seen as a risk by many, as Barcelona already had a formidable attack, led by Lionel Messi, Samuel Eto'o, and Thierry Henry. After 4 successful seasons with PSG, Zlatan was ready for a new challenge, and he decided to try his luck in the Premier League. He signed with Manchester United in 2016 for a transfer fee of £29.5 million. He has won numerous individual awards, including being named the best player in Sweden 6 times and winning the Golden Shoe Award as Europe's top scorer in 2007. Also, don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss any new videos. He is also one of only a handful of players to have won league titles in 4 different countries. But perhaps his greatest legacy is the inspiration he has been to millions of people around the world. He has shown that it is possible to overcome adversity and achieve greatness with hard work, dedication, and an unwavering belief in oneself. Zlatan's story is truly one of rags to riches, and he is an example to aspiring athletes everywhere. This move was seen as a smart investment by Manchester United, as they were looking to rebuild their squad after a disappointing previous season. And Zlatan was exactly the kind of experienced leader they needed. Despite his age, he still had the same hunger for goals and the desire to win. He scored 28 goals in 46 Premier League appearances and helped Manchester United win the Europa League and the FA Community Shield. However, his time at Manchester United was cut short due to a serious knee injury that required surgery. However, Zlatan was undeterred and was eager to prove himself in one of the world's top clubs. Despite offers from other clubs, Zlatan decided to join LA Galaxy in 2018. He was attracted to the growing popularity of Major League Soccer and was eager to play in front of a passionate fan base. In his first season with LA Galaxy, he scored 53 goals in 55 games across all competitions, breaking the single-season scoring record for the club. But towards the end of the season, Zlatan began experiencing knee problems that limited his playing time. In 2020, he announced his retirement from professional soccer due to his ongoing battle with knee injuries. Despite facing stiff competition for a starting spot, Zlatan still managed to score 21 goals in 30 La Liga matches and helped Barcelona win their first-ever treble, which included the Champions League, La Liga, and Copa del Rey. However, the arrival of Pep Guardiola as Barcelona's new manager in 2010 saw a change in tactics that limited Zlatan's playing time. And after just 1 season, he was on his way to Paris Saint-Germain, and there were questions about whether he could handle the pressure of playing for such a big club. This move was seen as a coup for PSG, as they were looking to build a team capable of winning the Champions League. With his experience and proven goal-scoring ability, he was instrumental in helping PSG win 3 consecutive Ligue 1 titles. And he also won 2 French Cups and 2 French League Cups during his time there. However, his relationship with the fans was rocky, and he was often criticized for his performances in the Champions League. But Zlatan didn't care, and he continued to score goals and break records for PSG. In fact, he holds the record for most goals scored in Ligue 1 with 156 goals in 186 games. However, Zlatan was confident in his abilities and was eager to prove himself in one of the world's top leagues. Unfortunately, his time at Juventus was overshadowed by a match-fixing scandal that saw the club stripped of 2 Serie A titles and relegated to the 2nd division. Despite the controversy, Zlatan still managed to impress with his performances and was voted the league's best foreign player in 2007. His impressive form at Juventus caught the attention of Barcelona, and he was soon on his way to Spain. And although it wasn't the best place to grow up, it made him who he is. He dreamed of becoming a football player and escaping the harsh realities of his surroundings. If you grow up in a normal family, it's easy to become a normal person. If you grow up in a normal time, it's easy to become a normal person. But despite his big dreams, no one believed in him, not even his own father. But that wouldn't stop our protagonist. Despite his small size, he quickly became the team's top scorer. However, at the age of 15, he was kicked out of the team due to his bad attitude and constant arguing with the coach. But after a few months without a team, he returned to Malmö FF and was given another chance. Now more determined than ever, Zlatan quickly made a name for himself as one of the best players in the league and was soon called up to the national team. On October 6, 2001, he made his professional debut against Elfsborg. His performance caught the eye of many scouts, and soon he was on his way to bigger and better things. Even though he didn't have access to proper equipment or coaching, he trained day and night to improve his skills. This was a big step for him, and he was excited to prove himself in one of Europe's top leagues. However, he soon realized that the Dutch Eredivisie was much more competitive than he had anticipated. The physicality and tactical discipline required by the top teams was something he had not experienced before, and he struggled to adapt. Despite the challenges, Zlatan persevered and slowly started to find his rhythm. With his incredible goal-scoring ability and mesmerizing skills, he became a fan favorite at Ajax and helped them win 2 league titles and 1 Dutch Cup. But he knew that to reach the top, he needed to compete in one of the most intense leagues in the world. His sheer determination and natural talent soon made him one of the best players in his region. And it wasn't long before scouts from some of Europe's biggest clubs came knocking. However, getting into these clubs was just the beginning of his journey. He faced a lot of racism and struggled to adapt to the different cultures. But through it all, he never gave up. He used every obstacle as motivation to prove everyone wrong. And eventually, he became one of the most successful football players in history, winning trophies with some of the biggest clubs in the world and scoring goals against some of the best teams around. But how did he do it? How did this kid from the rough streets of Sweden become one of the greatest of all time? So sit back, relax, and let's take a look at the incredible rise of Zlatan Ibrahimović, the man who conquered the impossible. Early life and family problems. Zlatan was born on October 3, 1981, in the city of Malmö in Sweden. His mother, a nurse, was from Croatia while his father worked in a car factory and was from Bosnia. Although he was born in Sweden, Zlatan didn't feel Swedish and wasn't accepted by either of his parents' countries. As a result, he developed an attitude of not belonging, which would later make it hard for him to connect with teammates. At age 5, his parents divorced and his father married one of his co-workers, which made Zlatan closer to his mother. She sacrificed everything for him and always tried her best to support him. In search of a better life for himself and his son, Zlatan's father moved to another city in Sweden and started a new family, while leaving Zlatan with his mother in the notorious Rosengård district of Malmö. In his autobiography, he writes, "If you grow up in a normal place, it's easy to become a normal person." Malmö FF. At age 11, he joined the youth team of Malmö FF and impressed the coaches with his skills. Ajax Amsterdam. After impressing scouts from several European clubs, including Juventus and Manchester United, Zlatan signed with Ajax Amsterdam in 2004 for a transfer fee of €16 million. Juventus. In 2006, Zlatan transferred to Italian giants Juventus for a whopping €32 million. In 2012, Zlatan signed with French club Paris Saint-Germain for a transfer fee of €22 million. Legacy. Throughout his career, Zlatan has been known for his incredible goal-scoring ability, mesmerizing skills, and larger-than-life personality. And that's all for today. What do you think of the great Zlatan Ibrahimović? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.